Hello and welcome back to the Brick Bin. My name is Dennis and today I have a really cool MOC to show you guys. This is actually my first Star Wars MOC, so don't completely destroy me whenever I may say something inaccurate or completely not true. As I'm no Star Wars expert, I'm sure some of you guys are, but I'm going to ask for a little bit of leniency on that, as I'm going to try and be accurate, but sometimes mistakes happen, and I'm counting that you guys know that as well. So to start off on this MOC, I want to show you four of the main parts. We have the minifigures, in this case micro figures, because this is micro scale. I'd say about 4 times smaller than the real thing. I wish I had a real one in front of me. Unfortunately, I'm not an employee of LEGO and I'm not part of their ambassador program. I'm not salty about not getting one at all. In fact, it's really cool that the people that do get those, they've earned it, you know. And so it's really cool that LEGO does that for their employees, their ambassadors, and they take care of them. I really wish a lot more companies did stuff like that. But back to the basics. So we have the micro figures. We have Yoda's little hut there, I believe. And the way I understood was that this is supposed to be like a little toy workshop or something. It might not even be Yoda's hut. It could be perhaps a cave or something. But I think it's maybe Yoda's hut there. And then the little skiff. And then, of course, the X-Wing, or the Xmas wing as some people are calling it. I really love this thing. I really love how it turned out. Overall, it didn't take long to design, probably around 3 hours, which for a small set like this might seem a little long, but the main thing that added to the time factor was just the disorganization on my end. I definitely need to do a better job of organizing things. Pretty much they're only organized by color in my collection and not so much by element, and I think that would allow me to create stuff much faster, much quicker. The X-Wing here is removable, is detachable, and that is one of my favorite features, because if you wanted to, you could build just the X-Wing alone. Now, overall, the entire set is around 182 pieces, I believe, but in the X-Wing alone is 100 of those 182 pieces. So if you wanted to just build this, you very well could. And the cool part about the size of it is maybe you want to build this and then you could make it into an ornament by putting a hook on there and hanging it from your tree. I think that would look so cool and so appropriate on the Christmas tree. Another feature is that these wings are functionable. They do close and then they open up. One of the only limitations that I had on this build was the gold pieces. I don't have a ton of gold in my collection, but the few that I did have I feel work for this build. The only issue I ran into was with these gold telescopes, and the problem was that I only had 2 of them in my collection that I could find, at least, so I had to come up with 2 more. Luckily I had a couple of these Lego Movie 2 poly bags. This one, of course, I got on clearance. And then I had a second one. I wasn't a huge fan of this poly bag, so I had no issue giving up a piece out of it. And I don't know, eventually I'll probably replace the piece in there whenever I do build that poly bag. But if you had the choice, would you rather build that poly bag or this Christmas X-Wing? Most people would probably go with this. The X-Wing actually attaches only by this Technic structure right here. And it's actually pretty strong. The other cool aspect of it is you can angle this any way you would like. Going into the micro figures, we have a little Santa Claus Yoda, or at least a Christmas Yoda, and R2-D2, and then I believe this is supposed to be like a fighter pilot Santa Claus. And so I did my best, guys. Don't completely trash me on my micro figures here, but I just wanted some representation for the figures. I have this little skiff here. I didn't have a ton of gold for the bottom like I wish I did, so that's just one of those minor inaccuracies, but I think overall it works. I did have these parts, which are probably the most rare part within the set, and these are just called like the scroll blocks or something, I think, if you guys want to try and find those. But I got those from the Lego store, so I looked out. Those are like a 20-cent piece on Bricklink. So, you know, overall, I think it works well. Some presents on the back there. And to Yoda's little workshop there, just some references to toys, perhaps. The only other inaccuracy is that I didn't have another one of these green cones to make a second tree right here, but in the design that I'll provide for you guys, I did include a second tree. So if you want to rebuild this, order the parts on Bricklink, you very well could, and then it will be that much more accurate to the real model. So here's the back of the hut for you guys. I actually ended up using a ton of pieces out of the Black Friday sets that they had for $20, the 900 piece sets. These dome pieces came out of there. The 1x4 white bricks came out of there. And so I'm actually really glad that those are proving to be a good investment already. One thing worth noting on this is the little 1x1 squares there. They're supposed to represent like the green presents out of the real set, and I just wanted a little suggestion of that on here without completely ruining the color scheme of red, white, and gold, or I guess the color scheme would be red and white with gold accents, but you guys get the idea. Here is a look at the back of the Xmas wing, I guess we're calling it. Overall, I'm very happy with this. Let me know what you guys think. The main reason for me to create this was to show what you guys can do with parts that are probably already in your collection, as these are mostly common parts with a few exceptions. And even still, say you don't have maybe one or two parts that you need to complete this, maybe try and substitute, maybe see what other ways you can get the same effect, the same visual effect. Because there's more than one way to skin a cat, guys. There's many different ways to design a Lego set as well. Alright guys, so Lego gave this set out to free for their employees. Unfortunately, I cannot give this set out for free, but the thing that I can do, and I did do, is create a digital version with instructions for you guys to build it yourself if you like to. So here's just a look at the digital 3D version of it. You'll notice that there is a second tree now, whereas my physical model did not have that. And that's what's cool about this program also, is you can expand upon further than the limitations of your collection of parts. You can do more because you have literally every part known to man in Lego. So let's take a look at the instructions just so you guys have an idea of what those look like. As you can see, it will take you step by step. It'll tell you all of the parts that you need. There is an example of the build for the hut. And then it goes into the skiff, and after that you get to build the cool part, the X-Wing. The other interesting thing about this is you don't have to build the entire set. Say you want to build only the X-Wing, you can take a look at this, take a look at the parts, and then build only the X-Wing if you prefer. I completely understand that, and maybe you have parts for one thing but not the other. Do whatever you want. Say you don't have certain elements in this, try and see what other elements you could use to obtain the same visual effect. And here is a view of after it's all built. You can actually find these instructions on Bricklink, in my Bricklink gallery. I uploaded it a couple hours ago, so yeah, 2 hours ago. There's a look at what the page is like. You can go over here and you can download the Studio file. So if you have Studio on your computer, you can look at it, edit it, and get a 3D image of it. You can go over here and download the parts list. You can buy the parts for it directly off of Bricklink. There are the building steps. There's a 3D model. That's really cool. Let's click on that. And kind of like in Studio, except for you don't have to download it. You can take a look at it. You can move it all around. Really check it out before you decide to order parts. And I did look, and this to build it will cost anywhere between $11 and $15 in parts, and then you're going to have to pay shipping, of course, for the parts. Sorry, I think I said 182 pieces earlier. There's actually 184 pieces, 72 different, 14 different colors in the set. And that's what's cool about this also. It gives you all of that information. There is a digitally rendered image of it. Wow, okay, so we already have a couple views, 2 downloads, and a couple of likes. Actually, one of those likes are mine. But yeah, the link is in the description. Check it out, guys. Maybe try building it, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye.